Good morning. Welcome to this motivational morning. I just pulled over on the shoulder, as you can see, because I was getting so tired. I actually slept well yesterday, but it has been a long week. And this freaking idle shutoff is going to drive me crazy in this truck. I keep having to rev it up. People are going to think I have a problem. We do need to hit the road, but I can talk and drive because I got to get my booty back to KC.
It is not death most people are afraid of. It is getting to the end of life only to realize that you never truly lived. There was a study done, a hospital study, on 100 elderly people facing death close to their last breath. They were asked to reflect about their life's biggest regret. Nearly all of them said they regretted not the things they did, but the things they didn't do, the risks they never took, the dreams they didn't pursue. I ask you, will your last words be, if only I hit, hey, you, wake up. Why do you exist? Life is not meant to simply work, wait for the weekend, and pay rent. No, I don't know much, but I know this. Every person on this earth has a gift. See, people don't choose dreams. Dreams choose them. So the question I'm getting to is, do you have the courage to grab the dream that picked you, that befits you and grips you? Or will you let it get away and slip through?
So I hope you guys are having an awesome week. I have had a very awesome, full, busy, and very adventurous week. YouTube is doing amazing, as you guys have seen. We've hit the biggest growth spurt in the shortest amount of time. At the same time, as you guys know, that also means a lot more workload on my end because growing pains, right? Every time you hit a growth spurt, whether it be in life or whether it be in business, you're always going to experience growing pains. As a matter of fact, there's always pain. When you're about to give birth to something, there's always going to be pain. And sometimes quite a lot of it. But on the other side, it's always worth it. So this week, as you guys know, I have been working on a trademark for our YouTube channel. So I did not realize there are so many steps to trademarking something. And if you're thinking about trademarking something, there are not only a lot of steps, but there are different types of trademarks. So there are trademarks for the name. There are trademarks for merchandising with the name. There are different types of trademarks in merchandising. There's trademarks for the name and then trademarks for the name and for usage in film. There's trademarks for the name and trademark types for the usage in various types of film. There are so many little legal things to consider when you're just trying to protect your name. That is probably my biggest concern as business grows, is you always have people who, as soon as they see that your channel's growing or what you're doing is growing, your business will come out of the woodwork and all of a sudden, try to snatch up that name, whether it be through like a website or whether it be, all of a sudden they start using the name, they see, hey, you haven't trademarked it. So next thing you know, you get a legal letter because they've suddenly trademarked it and they're claiming that they've been using it longer than you. So unfortunately, these things happen in life. So I have been researching a lot and trying to get our I's dotted and our T's crossed when it comes to trademarks. So after a long, drawn-out process, I have finally got our trademark signed and our application submitted to the U.S. Patent Office. And there's definitely some more business moves in the works as far as other things revolving around that name. So stay tuned for that. I came across an email last week. It was actually last week, and I think I made reference to it, I was going through my email, and this is one thing, if you have a YouTube channel or if you just are running any type of business, please do yourself a favor. Make sure that your email is accurate to your business listing. Because I still had an old email attached to my YouTube channel. So the YouTube actually in your back office area, it takes a little digging. YouTube's got this new beta thing that they're testing out. It gets a little complicated, but you can definitely find it or find it in like the frequently asked questions. But there is a spot for you to put an email, which is a media contact for your YouTube channel. So one of the benefits of that is, you know, if somebody like a television, TV production company or other YouTubers or businesses want to contact you with sponsorship deals, you know, business offers and various things, they're going to contact you through that email. So I forgot that I had not updated that email. And so I was like, oh, holy crap, I better go through this old email, the business email, because it's tied to the big YouTube channel. And since I'm starting to get offers, as you guys know, I've already aired on 2020. It was a brief clip. I was in it for like 10 seconds or something. 2020 episode with Diane Sawyer. But nevertheless, OMG, it's 2020, right? You know, Glenn Ruppel messaged me and said, hey, I'm a huge fan of your channel. I'm subscribed and I'm following you. So I'm like, oh my God, I've got like ABC 2020 following the channel. Next thing you know, we get this other production company, as you guys know, a few months back, contacted us and wanted us to try out for casts on their program. And I made it through all the interviews. They as well said, one of the main production ladies said, I love your channel, I'm subscribed and I'm following all your videos. Oh my God, this is a major, like I can't say the name legally. I gotta honor that. I want so bad to just blurt out everything, you know, and I'm going to as much as I can, I promise. But no, this lady is attached to like major cable TV, and here she is following the YouTube channels. Now I've got 2020, ABC 2020, and now I've got a major production company tied to major cable networks. So I suddenly realized, when I realized I made the mistake and hadn't updated the email, I'm like, oh my God, I better cover my AWS and make sure that, you know, I check that email even going back a few months to make sure I haven't missed anything. Well, sure enough, there was an email waiting for me that was sent over like last August 31st. So it's been a few months. And it was an email from a production company over in Germany. I can't say the name of it once again. There's this confidentiality thing. But I can tell you they do work with the BBC. And some of their clients, I've looked them up. They provided, honestly guys, this production company was a lot more transparent with me in the end. They let me know all their programming, their cable networks that they work through. So they were a little more transparent, which I appreciated. But they've got connections with the BBC, with the CBC, with the National Geographic Channel, PBS, and not only television shows, but also documentaries and movies, and I mean, the list goes on and on. It's just amazing. So here, lo and behold, I have this email that I missed from last August, the end of August, saying I'm with a production company and we're following your channel. And we were looking to put together a show in the US. We have a hit trucking show in Germany, and we were looking to put together the show in the US. And we were wondering if you would be interested in being one of the cast on the show. I was like, oh my God, you are kidding me. So here's the second production company that has contacted me, and I missed it. So I felt so bad. And not only just for the missed opportunity, right? But also I just felt bad as a person, because I'm starting to realize that, you know, once your channel gets out there, once your business gets out there, you know, people are going to start calling. People are going to start finding you. And whether it's in show business, or if you're going for acting, or whether it's in music, or whatever you're doing. So I'm realizing I'm getting a lot of offers there, which is a great thing. But nevertheless, more than anything, I felt terrible that I missed the email and didn't even respond to this production company. So part of me almost just blew it off because I'm thinking, you know, what are the chances? We're almost into the new year. So what are the odds that, you know, I'm going to get anywhere with it at this point? They've probably picked their cast. They're probably already filming the show by now, you know, and things like that. But then again, I thought, you know, sometimes these things takes time and they hit hiccups. So one thing I've learned in business that has helped me do well and make a lot more money is learning to play all the cards that you have in your hands. There are, I won't name names, but there are major business owners who have written books and talking about, you know, various negotiations in business. And that's one of the big keys that a lot of big business owners employ is when it looks like you're hitting a roadblock or an obstacle, play all the cards at your hand because you have nothing to lose. At least when your cards are gone, then, you know, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. And you got to play all your cards until you're out, you know, and then go on to something else. And I remember that even in law enforcement, you know, that's one thing that I learned in investigations was, you know, the top investigators, I always try to figure things out. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to reverse engineer this. Let's look at this top investigator with this department. You know, what is he or she doing that I'm not doing as an officer that I could do better? Like Picasso said, you know, Picasso said, great artists, good artists copy, great artists steal. That's exactly what he meant by that, is look at what's successful, what's working, reverse engineer it and put it to work for you. So it's a great thing. So I remember these principles and I'm like, you know what? Okay, these have worked for me before. I'm going to play all my cards. And at the very least, I'm going to write an email to this production company and let them know I sincerely apologize for missing your email. There was a misunderstanding as far as what email was attached to my YouTube. And so I said, I'm sure you guys already have your cast picked out, you know, and you guys have moved on. But I just wanted to let you know that I felt bad, wanted to apologize to you guys and let you know that I am absolutely interested in working with you in the future. If you have something open, you know, I would be glad to help you guys out. And long and behold, within about 24 hours, I received another email back in reply saying, Brittany, so nice to make contact with you. We actually hit a hiccup in our production planning when trying to develop the show, and it got delayed. It looks like it will be continued to be delayed until after Christmas, where we're going to reevaluate, you know, and represent the idea to different, you know, networks and different people in production, right? So I am like, oh my God, I am so thankful I learned that principle of playing all your cards before giving up.
You know, I learned a fact about airplanes the other day. Now this was so surprising. See, I was talking to a pilot and he told me that many of his passengers think planes are dangerous to fly in. But he said actually, it is a lot more dangerous for a plane to stay on the ground. I said, what? Like, how does that sound? Well, he said because on the ground, the plane starts to rust, malfunction and wear much faster than it ever would if it was in the air. As I walked away, I thought, yeah, makes total sense. Because planes were built to live in the skies. And every person was built to live out the dream they have inside. So it is perhaps the saddest loss to live a life on the ground without ever taking off.
You know, the one thing that I've really found from taking these business courses and finding a mentor, it is so vital to have a good mentor, you know, to learn from people who have been there and done it already and who are being successful at something, you know. Me and Jordan were talking last night about that. It's like, there are things that, you know, he was dealing with in business on his end that he's like, God, how am I going to get through this? You know, how am I going to figure this one out? And all of a sudden, lo and behold, it was the very thing that my business coach, my mentor, was talking about literally the night before. So I was able to share that with Jordan. You know, he was saying, when you're faced with a situation, you know, look at it this way. And before you know it, you're going to find yourself not only solving that problem, but overcoming and solving many other problems as well. It's always worth it to play all the cards that you have at your disposal, because you never know what opportunity you miss. You know, there's something called the regret factor in life, and you know, when taking chances, I've talked about it before, where, you know, you're maybe contemplating a business deal, you're contemplating doing something that you always wanted to do with your life, you know, whether it's a job or whether it's traveling someplace or trying to accomplish something you've never accomplished before. And too many times it looks like this monumental obstacle, you know, like that could never happen for me. I'm not in a position for this, you know, I'm not good enough, I'm not financially stable enough, you know, this or that. You also got to ask yourself, what is my regret factor if I don't try? Am I going to get 30 years down the road and look back and go, oh my God, you know, oh my God, Britt, if you just would have poked your nose around a little bit more, what if? You know, what if this could have happened for me? What if this would have created time freedom for my family, given me that life that I've always wanted, you know, fulfilling my dreams? And, you know, you don't want to, the last thing I want to do is get 20 years down the road or 30 years down the road and look back and go, you know, I really screwed up. The worst part would be not knowing, right? Is that not knowing the what ifs. What if I would have tried?
See, most of us are afraid of the thief that comes in the night to steal all of our things. But there is a thief in your mind who is after your dreams. His name is doubt. If you see him, call the cops and keep him away from the kids, 'cause he is wanted for murder, for he has killed more dreams than failure ever did. He wears many disguises, and like a virus will leave you blinded, divided, and turn you into a kinda. See, kinda is lethal. You know what kinda is. It's a lot of kinda people. You kinda want a career change. You kinda want to get straight A's. You kinda want to get in shape. Simple math, no numbers to crunch. If you kinda want something, then you will kinda get the results you want. What is your dream? What ignites that spark? You can't kinda want that. You gotta want it with every part of your whole heart. Will you struggle? Yeah, you will struggle, no way around it. You will fall many times, but who's counting? Just remember, there's no such thing as a smooth mountain. If you want to make it to the top, then there are sharp ridges that must be stepped over.
The what ifs are terrible. What if I would have tried? Would I have made it? What if I would have failed and found out that something better worked in a different area? You know, a lot of times we don't find, you know, what really works until we fail. Thomas Edison, I don't know if you guys know this, I was studying a lot on patents, right? And Thomas Edison, who redefined the light bulb, he didn't quite invent it, they were already inventors working on it. He redefined the light bulb, he made it functional and put it into production. Well, Thomas Edison said he had 1,000 experiments before ever having one successful patent. Seeing that he had an unbelievable amount of patents, he literally had hundreds and hundreds of thousands of failures throughout his life. But yet he wouldn't have gotten where he did had he not persisted. He played all his cards. Before he gave up on something or moved on to something else, he exhausted that thing. He used every possible card at his disposal. You know, there was a business stat I was reading this last week that like 60% of people quit after the first failure. That's just one failure. 60% of people out there on average will quit after one failure. The stats get even worse on the second failure. It's 80% will quit. On the third failure, over 90% will quit. The billionaires of the world, so many of them have had at least 3 failures.
There will be times you get stressed and things you get depressed over, but let me tell you something. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school 3 times, but he kept going. The television execs fired Oprah, said she wasn't fit for TV, but she kept going. Critics told Beyonce that she couldn't sing, she went through depression, but she kept going. Struggle and criticisms are prerequisites for greatness. That is the law of this universe and no one escapes it. Because pain is life, but you can choose what type. Either the pain on the road to success, or the pain of being haunted with regret.
Many of them have went bankrupt. I went bankrupt like a year ago. Like, I have so much like I would love to share with you guys. Like, it's so crazy. So many things have happened behind the scenes that, you know, I usually just shut my mouth and I push on. I don't really talk about it. I was nearly homeless. I went bankrupt. I absolutely hit my bottom, the lowest point I have in my whole life. And it wasn't until I pushed through that and I kept going, I was like, you know what? Nothing I can do. It's like the serenity prayer. Anyway, guys, that is enough for now. This is a way long enough video, but I just wanted to bring a little motivation to your morning, give you a little bit of behind the scenes. Hopefully this will excite you and whatever it is that your dream is, your goals are.
You want my advice? Don't think twice. We have been given a gift that we call life, so don't blow it. You were not defined by your past. Instead, you are born anew in each moment. So own it now. Sometimes you gotta leap and grow your wings on the way down. You better get the shot off before the clock runs out, cause ain't no overtime in life, no do-over. And I know I sound like I'm preaching or speaking with force, but if you don't use your gift, then you sell not only yourself, but the whole world short. So what invention do you have buried in your mind? What idea, what cure, what skill do you have inside to bring out to this universe? Uni meaning one, verse meaning song. You have a part to play in this song. So grab that microphone and be brave. Sing your heart out on life's stage. You cannot go back and make a brand new beginning, but you can start now and make a brand new ending.